I'm Ryan Hamner. Hey, I'm Ryan Hamner, and I'm with Dr. Christina Garoppo,
Hey.
and today we're going to be talking about 3 things that might help you cope better with going through cancer and cancer treatment. And so I did these 3 things and some other things too to get through my cancer and cancer treatment. One of the first things that I have on the list is toxic people. You want to get away from these people, these negative people. At least if it's, if you like hanging around toxic people, well, wait till you're healthy to do it. You can probably take it on a little better. But while you're going through cancer and cancer treatment, and you're stressed out and worried, just limit that time with those people.
You know what? I would tell you too, having seen a lot of people go through this kind of thing, I find that people that are struggling with things like cancer feel like they have to shoulder the burden of everybody else's emotional stuff about their cancer, while at the same time they're trying to cope with cancer themselves. Give yourself the license, allow yourself to just put distance between anybody that stresses you out, anybody that is asking you to carry the burden of their grief, of their fear, of whatever it is that they're dealing with. Do yourself a favor, separate. You can do it nicely, send text messages, whatever, but separate.
Or don't send text messages.
Or don't send text messages. Send nothing. It's okay. You have cancer.
The second thing I have on this list is to get a hobby. So a lot of times, yes, it's true, when you get sick, a lot of things in your life change. Your normal way of life. You might have, worked out the gym really hard before, and now here you are. You don't have the energy to do it, or for whatever reason, you can't do the thing or things you used to like to do. But you can take on other hobbies, new hobbies. For me, I got into some kind of nerdy hobbies the last time I was sick. I remember me and my dad, we did metal detecting. Don't tell anybody. And I would go through. I got into this thing with trying to find rare coins. So I would literally go through thousands of coins. I was going to find that one rare coin.
Yeah, but see, the beauty of that is that it occupied your mind, and it was something that was precise and forced you to pay really close attention to it, and you weren't necessarily so wrapped up in your health, what was going on. It gives you an opportunity to put it down. And we both recognize, I think, that you may have financial constraints with this idea. So shell collecting and metal detecting and things that don't necessarily have to cost a lot of money, but occupy your brain and give you something to look forward to.
Yeah, and I did find a couple wheat pennies, so I was really glad to go through all of that change to find 2 wheat pennies.
2 wheat pennies. Hey, it kept you occupied and happy. That's what counts.
That's right. The other thing is, and this you hear this one harped on all the time, is to exercise and to move. And now a lot of people will hear this and say, well, if I'm throwing up all day, or if I'm, sick in the hospital, or, whatever, I can't exercise. Well, you don't have to necessarily think of it as running a mile every day or anything like that. I remember when I went to the hospital for my bone marrow transplant, I took these like 2-pound dumbbells, and I got really sick eventually, but just to have this small win for me daily, I would pick these up and I'd go through some kind of routine, whether it was, doing bicep curls or some very light, shoulder presses or something. And that for me was something that made me feel like, oh, I accomplished something. And then maybe do some laps around the hallway, whatever you have to customize for you. Maybe it's getting out in the sun, walking.
Well, getting out in the sun and walking will also give you the added really important benefit of raising your vitamin D levels. Anything that challenges your immune system will deplete vitamin D. I remember when I was going through medical training, they taught us that only old people that stayed in the house for years at a time had vitamin D deficiencies. That is not the case. I see people coming into my practice every single day with low vitamin D levels. The other thing is, I agree with you that sometimes the fatigue level is so high that you feel like you can't do any of these things. Simple stretching, simple movement, yoga, tai chi, these are things that don't necessarily have to be taxing. Yoga even has a school that uses supported positions where you're using pillows and blankets and bolsters that hold you in a position so you don't even need to use your muscles to do it. And yet it stretches and relaxes your body. These are things that will make you feel better.
All right, cool. Thanks. So check us out in our next video.
All right.